Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a story time, the 15 and pregnant story. I'm also going to be drinking some coffee if you want to drink coffee with me. I wasn't much of a coffee drinker, but now that I live in New York, for sure gotta have the coffee because it's freaking cold. But right now the weather is getting better, so I'm so happy about that. Anyway, this cup, I got it at Marshall's, and it has like bunnies and, you know, for Easter, and it's like yellow in the cup, and it's so cute. And then we have a Mika in my lap, if you can't see her, so don't mind her if she's like moving around and stuff. But yeah, if you want to know my 15 and pregnant story, just keep on watching. So let's start from the very beginning. So it was a new school for me, and I was a sophomore. I knew some people because they had moved to that school. So where I'm from and where I went to school, they have two different high schools, and one is for like if you need help, you know. So they give you an option to go to that school if you want to, so that's what they did. So I decided to go to that school, and so I had met, I don't really want to say my baby daddy's name because of privacy, so we'll just call him Bob. We'll just call him Bob. So I met Bob at, you know, my sophomore year, and you know, we started dating really soon, and it was still the beginning of the year. So then he had left to Mexico, and you know, I mean, I feel like you would always miss your significant other if they had left you. So when he came back, I had asked my mom for some weird reason. I don't know why, like I would have never asked her this, but I asked her if he could, you know, sleep over because his parents stayed in Mexico, so he wasn't really with anybody at his house. So then my mom said yes for some odd reason. I don't know. So yeah, then he stayed with us for a little bit, and then I remember one time we were arguing. Let me drink some coffee. We were arguing, and I was laying on my stomach, and I was like looking down, and for some weird reason my stomach was hurting so bad, like really bad cramps. And I told my mom, and so my mom, she's like a masseuse, you would say, but she's not like, she's like at home masseuse or something like that. She learned it from her grandma, but she's really good. People would go to her for back pain, stomach aches, you know. She'll fix you up. Anyway, she just decided that she wanted to like feel around my stomach and massage it. And so she then said that she thought that I was pregnant, and I mean, she didn't really get mad at first because we didn't really know just yet if I really was, but she kind of knew. So then a little bit of time, like a little bit of, like I think 2 weeks passed or something, a week, and I asked her, Mom, can we go to the hospital because I just can't anymore with these stomach pains. I just can't, and it's just hurt. So we ended up going to the hospital, and you know, they ask you, have you had sex or whatever. Yeah. So they decided to do a pregnancy test, and it came back positive. So he said, you are a month pregnant, and my mom was upset. Yes, she was. She told me to call him and to tell him that she had to talk to his parents soon. My mom was pregnant at the time too, so she knew before me that she was pregnant. So I mean, she was upset, but she was like, you know what else are we gonna do? And she did tell me, like, don't think about adoption. If you want to think about that, just give him to me. But I said, no, this is my baby, this is my responsibility, you know. At 15, like, you would think that I would say, yeah, you know, you can adopt him or whatever, but no, I decided to, you know, to keep him. So then we go and we tell his parents. So we waited for them to come home. We were so nervous. And his parents, I'm meaning Bob's parents. So we go outside and they're just, you know, chilling. And we tell his mom first. So he's like, you know, Mom, Marlena's pregnant. And she laughed at first. She thought we were just joking around. And we're like, what's going on? And she's like, nah, you're kidding, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, we're for real. And she's like, well, you gotta tell your dad. And his dad was literally like behind her, but I guess he didn't hear. So I was like, what do you think he's gonna say to his mom? And he's like, I don't know. So then he said that his dad said that I could move in with them. So at the time, Bob was living with his parents. And I was like, well, I gotta talk to my mom about it. So then, I mean, I guess he wasn't really shocked because he had a son that had a kid early too. So anyway, I told my mom, you know, Mom, I think I might move in with Bob. And she's like, do what you gotta do and do what's best for you and your son. So I was like, maybe this is the best thing to do because we're gonna all be together. So the time comes where me and Bob, well, not me and Bob, like me, I go and I move. Like, he was like waiting for me outside, and you know, I say goodbye to my mom and she's like crying and I'm crying, and I'm like, I just don't, like, I'm so young, you know. I just didn't think I would have to leave my mom that young, you know. She has done everything for me. So it was time to grow up and do everything on my own. So I decided to move in with Bob, and we were together all my pregnancy. My pregnancy was something else. Pregnancy is no joke. I did have morning sickness, maybe like all day sickness, not even morning. So I would be sick a lot, and my favorite restaurant is Saxby's. And when I ate it when I was pregnant, I would just like get sick, and it would be so bad, and I was so mad that I couldn't eat my favorite food. But yeah, I think it lasted until like I was 4 or 5 months. But then my back started hurting really bad, my feet, you know. I had told my mom, you know, to massage my feet, but she's like, you know, that pain's not really gonna go away because you're pregnant and you are carrying a kid, a baby. So then you know, they had told me that he was a boy, and I have some ultrasounds right here, so I'm gonna show it to you guys. The bag. I'm sorry, they're all like weird and folded. I still have his ultrasound. I'm trying to cover the info for privacy. Let me show you another one. So yeah, they had told me that he was a boy, and I cried. We went home and we told everybody. We told his dad, and his dad ended up crying too. Yeah, I was scared. I was really scared because I didn't know what to do, and I was young. I didn't have a job. I was still in school. So at the time I would go to school, like I was still in school, so I was huge in school. I couldn't even fit in the table. So like every time I go and lay down and stuff, you know, lay down, because I was always tired. So every time I went to lay down, I couldn't even lay down for like a second, because my son, you know, I was pregnant with my son, and he would just kick me up. So like he would like kick on top of my belly to get up. It was so funny. Like I couldn't even lay down because he would just like kick me. And then I remember one time I was laying down, and I was like tapping on my belly just to see, you know, what he would do. And I was just like singing to him, talking to him, and next thing I know, he's tapping back, and oh my god, I cried because I thought that was the sweetest thing ever. Like I was falling in love with him. So yeah, they told me that my due date was October 19th. So you know, I'm anxious for October to get here. It felt like the longest. I also have some pictures I want to show y'all of when I was pregnant. So yeah, let me show you some pictures. I'm not sure if you can really see that. But here am I with my small belly when I first found out, those first months. There's another one. Sorry if you can't really see that. I feel like at first I was small, but then all of a sudden I popped. Here, hold on, let me show you. That much better. So yeah, I was in school pregnant. You can see my belly. And then my belly started to just pop. So then the last few weeks I just felt really uncomfortable at school. I couldn't even fit. I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable. So the last week I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna stay home because I'm not trying to have a baby at school. Even one of my teachers was like, please don't have a baby here, please. So you know what, I decided to stay, and Thursday came around, which was October 17th, and you know, you have Braxton Hicks when you're pregnant, and you know, that just means that you're getting bigger, your back is hurting, you know. So that you don't really have to worry about Braxton Hicks. So that day I had woken up and I thought it was Braxton Hicks, but I couldn't sleep through it. I couldn't do anything. So I was gonna call my doctor, but my doctor was closed. And I remember that day I had an appointment, but it was until 3 o'clock. So I was like, you know what? This is weird. So I told Bob, I was like, come on, we gotta go to the hospital. If it's nothing, then okay, but we just gotta know, because I just can't with these pains. So I ended up going, and you know, I had to sign in, and I was like, fuck. Sitting there waiting for them. I'm just like, hurry up. So they had, you know, they told me to come in the room. And you know, when they check you with, you know, with their fingers and everything, how far you've dilated, or if you're even dilated. So they did, and they were like, oh, you're 4 centimeters, you're not gonna go home today, you're having a baby. And I was like, what? Like, guys, I get so nervous at the doctors, I can't help it. So when I get really nervous, I ask a lot of questions. So I was asking the nurse, is it gonna hurt? What are you doing? Oh my god. So my water didn't break or anything, so they had to break it for me. Then I started to feel the contractions even more and more. I went into the hospital at around 9 o'clock in the morning. So I was already 4 centimeters, and you gotta get up to 10, so for 5 more centimeters. Or 4 or whatever. So I had to wait, and you know, I had a lot of people in the waiting room. Well, not the waiting room, but they were like inside my room, because we were still waiting, and they let me have people inside. So it was my mom, one of my friends, and Bob with 2 of his friends. So they were just making a lot of noise, and I was over here in pain. I did get that epidural for the pain, but for some reason I could still feel it. So I was like there pushing the button. Listen, guys, my mom got so mad at me because I used epidural. She's like, why can't you use the epidural to make him? And like, do you gotta use the epidural to make him? I'm like, really, mom? Like, you know, I'm not good with pain. I just hate pain. I can't. Like, anyway, she got mad because she had us without epidural, without anything. I'm like, but it's my baby, it's my decision. But yet again, when I had my son, I was 16. So when I was 15, I was pregnant. And then, you know, my birthday came, and then we got out of school for, you know, my sophomore year. And then when I had him, I was in junior year, because I had him in October. And then I was 16. So I was 16, so my mom needed to decide stuff for me still. So she signed the paper, and they gave me the epidural, and it was pretty scary. I was so nervous. You know, they bend you back, and they just put a big ass needle in your back. So I felt it, and it was cold. So they were like making a lot of noise, and I was like, if you don't be quiet, you're gonna get out, because I just can't with this pain and y'all being so loud. So they were like, okay. So the time came where I had to push, and it was only Bob and my mom. And my mom was like really like yelling at me in my face, like, push, you gotta push, you gotta push. And they were both like one holding one each leg. And so yeah, next thing I know, he's out. And I did have stitches. You know, your first baby, you're always gonna have stitches. So at first I couldn't really get up from the bed, because, you know, I had the epidural. So let me show you some pictures of him when he was born. So that's it when he came out. He was really, really hairy. So yeah, like I was saying, at first I couldn't get up because the epidural hadn't worn off. So they took me in a wheelchair, and I think I was carrying him, or they brought him with a little bed. And when we had our own room, Bob would stay with me, and it's just so much staying at a hospital, because they come and they go, you know, they got to take the baby, they got to do this to the baby. And so I did try to breastfeed him, and he only breastfed for about a month or so. This is another picture of him and me. I was 16 right there. And so we, you know, we left the hospital, we came home, everybody wanted to see him, and this is how he looked. He was the tiniest baby. He was 7 pounds and 5 ounces, I believe. So yeah, let me show you some other, the outfit that I brought him home with. Look at this guy. It's so tiny. And I think I lost the pants that I put him. And these are some little gloves he had on. So yeah, we took him home, and everybody was so excited, and it was, you know, a few hard days because I was still getting better from all that, and I would walk like an old lady, and because of my stitches, it would hurt so bad to, you know, go to the restroom. And I was still in school, so I had to leave him when he turned 6 weeks, because then he could go to daycare. So let me show you a few pictures of him. That's me and him again. He was a really serious baby. Like, it would take so much for me to, like, make him laugh. So this is the first time ever I had to leave him to go to school. And the good thing that about my school is that they had a daycare. Girls in my school would get pregnant, yes. So they did a daycare, and I would see him at school, and I could go see him anytime. Good thing, like, they provided food and like the milk and everything for him. So yeah, it was pretty sad to leave him at, you know, at daycare. And because I was used to, like, giving him my whole attention, like, all day, and just watching over him, you know. So the first day back, it was a little bit hard, and I missed him. Let me show you another picture. He wasn't really into the pacifiers. At first he was, but then he didn't like them. But yeah, I feel like my mom helped me a lot. She helped me get his social security and everything like that. You know, I was 16, so I had no idea how to do these things. And she's helped me a lot. My mom was really, really there for me. And back to when she was pregnant, I forgot to tell y'all that she miscarried. So she really, really loved my son, because they were gonna be born both in October, but she ended up losing her baby. So Bob, he was there for us. He ended up going to work instead of going to school. So he dropped out to go to work. Bob was 16 too, so he was still a kid. He was still trying to get used to things. He was still trying to grow up. And like I said, I feel like girls grow faster than guys, because as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I'm just like, I gotta be an adult. So it was bad, a little bit bad at first. I would have to, you know, do everything for him, and no shade on Bob at all. Like, I get it, you're still a kid, you know, things happen, we learn from it. But so we lived with Bob for a little while, then we moved with my mom. So we stayed with my mom and she would help me. So where was I? So yeah, she would help me and I would still go to school. I ended up graduating because, you know, I was behind a little bit, but I catched up and I ended up graduating. And Tanner was, I think he was a year old, and it was a really proud moment. I feel like having a baby at 15, 16 has taught me a lot and has brought in so much joy in my life. I do feel sometimes that I should have waited, only because, you know, things that have happened in my life, I just wanted way better for him. So yeah, now he is 5 years old and we live in New York, and I am not with Bob anymore. So they still like get in contact with each other. He's still there for him. It was patchy. We ended up dating for 5-6 years, and then we ended things. So it was a little bit hard for Tanner, and I feel like he doesn't get it still. But you know, you never really know. You never really know what's gonna happen. And I am thankful to Bob that he gave me Alexander and that he taught me so many things. Being a young mom is definitely hard. I am 21 now, and Alexander goes to school, and I feel like I've been growing up with him. We've been growing up together. So yeah, and here is Alexander. I'm gonna let y'all meet him. Tanner, come here. This is Alexander, guys. Hold on, it turned off.
Yep.
So yeah, this is my 5-year-old son. His name is Alexander, and we're twins.
Yeah.
And he's in school right now. He's gonna play soccer.
Yeah, I'm on kindergarten college.
Kindergarten college.
I'm playing Paw Patrol Christmas Center.
He really likes to play with my boyfriend, you know, Noah,
and I love Noah.
Yeah, he loves Noah. He really likes school, and he's so friendly. He's super friendly. But yeah, he wants to make his own videos too, and sometimes he tells me that he wants to be in a video with me. So here was his chance. I want to show y'all this little box I made him, and it has, like, you know, his ultrasounds, his band that, you know, he came from the hospital with, some stuff he made me at the daycare he was when I was in school. So, you know, these are some projects he did. Here's a little picture of us when I went back to school. I'm not sure if you can see that. And also, he made me this little hand.
And there's me on it. Don't just show them. There's me. Oh, you're not going to see it.
Yeah.
And there's some count and a count.
Yeah. So yeah, and these are his little footprints, guys. Oh my god, he was so tiny and cute. Sometimes I do get baby fever because on my Facebook timeline there's a bunch of babies and baby girls. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for subscribing and for liking my videos, guys. I really appreciate it. Please comment if you want to talk. I'll comment back. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and please make sure to subscribe.
Thumbs up.
I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.
Thumbs up.